Happy Halloween, everybody. Good morning. And it's fitting because Halloween is really about costumes and disguises. And so what you have here today is disguised as gravel. What it's going to be turned into when we unveil it is going to be a completely state-of-the-art interim supportive housing village. And it's going to transform lives. So today it's disguised as 1.5 acres of gravel. But in the future, it's going to be a transformative structure that's going to really change the face and the nature of this community. I am Aubrey Merriman. I'm the CEO of LifeMoves, and it's an honor to be here. LifeMoves exists to end homelessness, and we can't do that alone. It takes public and private and service system partnerships to catalyze innovative projects like this one. And I also want to echo a lot of the thank yous and start with the gratitude. So I want to thank the state of California, Project Homekey. I want to thank the County of Santa Clara, the Board of Supervisors, in particular Supervisor Samidi and Supervisor Lee, and I'll get back to that. I also want to thank the city of Palo Alto just for embracing this opportunity. I want to thank in particular former city of Palo Alto mayor and now council member Pat Burt, who was early in this journey, who helped forge a path for us to keep moving forward. I want to thank current mayor Lydia Koo for her enthusiasm and support in driving this over the finish line and embracing LifeMoves and visiting our sites. I also want to thank the entire city council and the city staff, Ed, Chantel, and team that are just relentless in really doing this work, and you have to be able to move it to this point. I also want to thank our building partners, DevCon, VBC, volumetric building companies. And I want to thank our donor community and our investors. We have many people who stepped up to support this project, and I just want to name a few of them. The Palo Alto Community Fund, as was mentioned earlier, Ann and Jill Stockwell, Michelle and Ted Wang, the Valhalla Foundation, Carolyn and Preston Butcher, Banesh Grady Family Fund, the Wilson Sonsini Goodrich and Rosada Foundation, and a few other anonymous donors that have really supported this project here. So it would be remiss if I didn't thank them. So there's no better time, no better place than in the great city of Palo Alto as we move the city line over to accommodate this being the great city of Palo Alto. For everyone in this community to unite around building an amazing interim modular village that is going to create instant benefit for our unhoused friends and neighbors, but also for the larger community in Palo Alto. So this is why this first of its kind project here is so critical, because it's happening in Palo Alto. And I'm hoping that the fact that it's happening in Palo Alto is going to push other cities to redefine what they think is possible in their cities as well too. So I want to issue that challenge to other cities as well. If it can happen in Palo Alto, it should and can be happening in other cities throughout the Bay Area. And I challenge you to make that a reality. Synonymous with Silicon Valley, Palo Alto alone is the birthplace and has been the headquarters of many amazing technology companies. We've heard the stories of Hewlett Packard, Google, Apple, Facebook, Tesla, and PayPal. So in a city where we sometimes talk about wealth and luxury and the cradle of Silicon Valley and innovation, we also want to talk about the fact that there are neighbors in our city who are currently experiencing homelessness, and have been doing it recently and have been doing it chronically. And so it's that balance of the wealth and the technology, juxtaposed against people that are going to be looking for a place to call home tonight and their next meal is where we find ourselves. And this partnership at all levels of government with our donors with our construction partners, all of us focused on the same goal, doing our part to end homelessness. This is that groundbreaking moment, and we need more of these moments to happen throughout the Bay Area. I'm honored to represent LifeMoves, but I'm also here representing all the amazing people that do amazing work, current and former staff members. So if you're part of the LifeMoves staff, please raise your hand so you can be recognized and acknowledged. They do the work every day. I get the privilege of coming up here and talking about it. LifeMoves board members, current and past. I know we have some board members here today. Carrie, Lauren, if you're here. We have Pastor Paul, who is his side job apparently is on the City Council of Palo Alto. Ajuan, I believe, is here. And Joe Stockwell. Is Joe Stockwell? Joe Stockwell is back there. He is the, and that's the only time you see Joe in the back. He's usually in the front, leading the charge. Past board chair for LifeMoves, and really has been sort of the catalytic converter to making sure that we keep moving things forward. And so I'm proud to represent them for the impactful work that they do. And we love coming to groundbreakings, right? Everybody loves to come and envision a future that we all want to see. And it takes LifeMoves one step closer to our vision of a thriving community where every neighbor has a home. And LifeMoves will help our friends and neighbors who will call this place home temporarily, a pathway to more permanent housing and stability in their life. Our neighbors will have access to individually tailored supports and services to address their different needs, their wants, and their goals. And we know fundamentally that everybody has skills and abilities and gifts that they can use to advance their life. So our job as an organization is to collaborate to help discover and amplify those skills and abilities so that people can migrate and move on to more permanent housing and more stability. We help them build a plan. We secure the resources they need so they can permanently exit interim supportive housing. This will happen on these grounds. What will be built here will be the stepping stone to their forever homes. That's what's going to be happening here. So we arrived at the groundbreaking moment because of the collective effort and collaboration. A lot of people, let's be honest, didn't think we'd make it to this point, right? They didn't think we would be here, but we are here. And we're here because of the collective work and the commitment from all levels of government that saw the sense of urgency, that understood that failure is not an option given the crisis that we're in. So that's why we're here. We want to celebrate this moment, but realize it's a moment in time, and what's really going to change and transform lives is when we cut the ribbon and we move in our first clients that will call this place home for as long as they need to call it home. And I mentioned earlier Supervisor Simidian and Supervisor Lee as I conclude my remarks here. 2 years ago, I believe, I issued a challenge to Silicon Valley. And I said, we can do more, we can be more, and we can create more. And we know that we need more permanent supportive housing and affordable housing as the ultimate landing place for the people that we serve. But we also, at the same time, needed to move people off the streets quickly, effectively, and with dignity. I've yet to hear of somebody who is experiencing homelessness saying, you know what, in the course of being unhoused, I've actually gotten healthier, right? And so we knew that we needed to bring people indoors quickly. And Supervisor Simidian, along with Supervisor Lee, stepped up to that challenge, and they issued the challenge grant. And the challenge grant has been able and will continue to be able to support projects like these. And so I thank you, Supervisor Simidian, for heeding to the challenge and stepping up and doing something that was actionable. And so I can't thank you enough. A huge thank you to John and Sue Sobrato. The Sobrato family's philanthropy is legendary. But John doesn't just write big checks. John leverages his network. He shares his expertise. And that's invaluable. He challenges you to be innovative, to be effective, and to be efficient. He approaches this work with the required sense of urgency that really pushes you to be able to do things in the right pace and the right way. Let's face it, there's a lot of competing demands for his time, his attention, and his money. And the fact that he leans into these projects the way he does says a lot more about him than it does about the size of his check. And so I just want to acknowledge John and Sue and the family for all of their support. So thank you for that. And again, this will be where we build the stepping stone to forever homes for the clients that will call this place their temporary home for as long as they need to be. So thank you so much. LifeMoves is honored to be a partner in this journey, and we're honored to be here with you today, sharing in this moment. Thank you.